If the sun were to vanish without warning, life on Earth and the stability of the solar system would be thrown into chaos almost immediately. At first, no one would notice. For about 8 minutes, everything would seem perfectly normal, birds chirping, oceans glistening, and the sky filled with light. But after those 8 minutes, the sun's last rays would reach us, and then, darkness. Imagine stepping outside at noon, only to find yourself under a sky as dark as the deepest night. The stars and distant galaxies would twinkle overhead, but the absence of sunlight would be haunting. No golden warmth on your face, no shadows on the ground, just an eerie, perpetual night. It wouldn't be just the light we'd lose. It would be the sun's gravitational grip, the force that keeps Earth and all the planets in their delicate orbits. Without that gravity, Earth would shoot off into the cold abyss of space, following a straight-line trajectory. The planets, moons, and asteroids would all scatter like marbles tossed into the void, creating a chaotic, drifting mess where the solar system once was. For Earth, this journey into the unknown wouldn't take long to turn deadly. Let's talk temperature. The sun is our planet's personal heater, maintaining the comfortable climate we all take for granted. Without it, Earth's surface would cool rapidly. Within hours, temperatures would drop below freezing. Within a week, even the tropics would feel like an Arctic winter. After a year, Earth's surface could become colder than Antarctica's most frigid nights, plummeting to a bone-chilling -100 degrees Celsius, -148 degrees Fahrenheit. Oceans would begin to freeze over, starting from the surface. Imagine towering ice sheets forming, swallowing the seas, while the last remnants of liquid water lurk in the deep, warmed only by Earth's internal heat. As Earth freezes, life would struggle to hold on. Plants, the backbone of every ecosystem, would die almost immediately without sunlight. Without photosynthesis, oxygen levels would drop, and the food chain would collapse. Animals, from the tiniest insect to the largest predator, would face extinction. Humans would fare no better unless we retreated to underground bunkers powered by nuclear or geothermal energy. Even then, survival would be a desperate, short-term endeavor. But the cold isn't the only danger. Earth's atmosphere, no longer warmed by the sun, would condense and freeze, blanketing the planet in a suffocating layer of frozen nitrogen and oxygen. Breathing would become impossible without artificial systems. Winds would cease, weather would stop, and the world would turn eerily still, a frozen, lifeless sphere hurtling through the dark. On a grander scale, the disappearance of the sun would destroy the delicate balance of our solar system. Moons would drift away from their planets. Asteroid belts would scatter, creating collisions and chaos. Some planets might crash into each other, while others would be flung into the vastness of interstellar space. Without the sun's protective heliosphere, a bubble that shields the solar system from harmful cosmic radiation, Earth and its fellow planets would be bombarded by dangerous rays from the galaxy, adding yet another threat to any remaining life. What about us? Humanity, with all its ingenuity, might attempt to adapt. Perhaps we build artificial biospheres, tapping into geothermal energy or nuclear reactors to generate heat and power. In these underground sanctuaries, people might attempt to simulate the warmth and light of the sun using advanced technology. Crops could be grown under artificial lights, and oxygen could be generated chemically. Yet, even in these controlled environments, the psychological toll of eternal darkness and isolation would weigh heavily. Would humans thrive, or would the spark of civilization eventually fade away? Life beyond Earth would face its own challenges. Space probes and satellites powered by solar energy would fail, their systems shutting down as they lost their primary energy source. On Mars, where colonization efforts depend heavily on solar power, any human presence would face swift collapse. The loss of the sun's influence would echo across the solar system, from the icy moons of Jupiter to the distant reaches of the Kuiper Belt. Let's pause for a moment and consider the sheer improbability of the sun simply vanishing. Stars do not just disappear. They follow a predictable life cycle. If our sun were nearing the end of its life, we'd expect it to expand into a red giant before eventually collapsing into a white dwarf over billions of years. For it to suddenly vanish would imply a cosmic anomaly, an event so extraordinary it defies our current understanding of physics. Could it be a tear in the fabric of space-time? A catastrophic interaction with a black hole? The very thought sparks more questions than answers. Even in this bleak scenario, there's a strange kind of beauty in imagining humanity's resilience. The sun has always been a symbol of constancy, a force we rely on without question. But faced with its disappearance, would we rise to the challenge? History has shown that humans are incredibly resourceful when pushed to the brink. Perhaps, in some distant future, we might even find a way to replace the sun's role in our lives. Could we build an artificial star? Or harness energy from other celestial bodies? The possibilities, though remote, remind us of our capacity for innovation. This nightmare scenario isn't just a story of doom. It's a reminder of how profoundly dependent we are on the sun. It's not just a fiery ball of gas in the sky. It's the heart of our solar system, the giver of life, and the anchor of stability. Without it, everything we know, everything we are, would unravel. While the idea of the sun disappearing is pure science fiction, it defies the laws of astrophysics. It's a humbling thought experiment. It makes us appreciate the fragile, miraculous balance that allows life to thrive on our tiny blue planet. Every sunrise we see, every warm ray we feel, is a reminder of how precious and rare our existence truly is. If you found this thought experiment fascinating, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more mind-bending explorations of our universe.